Hello and welcome to another Elden Ring class build video with me, Impact 101 Gaming. We're here. We will be looking at a build class called the Inner Beast. So channel the power of Rugalea, the Great Red Bear, by releasing your Inner Beast. It's a strength faith build that utilizes Bestial Incantations with a DLC flair by using the Roar of Rugalea, the Bear Communion. Before we dive into this build, I'd like to ask if you can follow my Twitch channel or drop a like or a subscription to my YouTube channel for all the latest content. Thank you everyone, every follower helps. I will be adding all of the build specs in the description of the video. Right, onto the build. So these are the preferred stats I would use for a level 200 and for a new game plus build. So I would have figure about 50. So you can bring your mind down to about 30. And you can look at your endurance, about 40 plus. You can even go 45 would be pretty decent as well. Strength, you would want to at least get up to at least a 50. Anything higher than that is fantastic. A minimum of 20 on your strength to start off this build. A dex of 20 would be more than adequate, but a minimum of 10 for the build as well. Intelligence isn't really much of a big thing on this build, so it could be any. Faith, I would do a 60. 60 plus is good as well. You'll just need a minimum of 15 for the build. And your arcane could be any. The build does use blood loss, so you know you can put that up if you would like. Doesn't really make much difference. So looking at the build, when you look at your physic mix and crimson and cerulean flasks, your mix flask. For this one I would use Spike Crack tier, temporary boosts charge attack power, and Stone Barb Crackle tier, temporary makes stats breaks easier. This will make fighting bosses a lot easier. Your flasks for healing and magic, 10 to 4 is normally a good ratio for this build. You're not really using too much magic, it's mainly for your skills, and healing is always essential for a close-up build. Talismans for this build, I have used Godfrey Icon, enhances charge skills, spells and skills. Radagon Icon, which shortens the spell casting time. Roar Medallion, enhances roars and breath attacks. And the Rotted Wing Sword Insignia grants raises attack power of successful attacks. If we move on to the armour, so this is mainly the Iron Rivet armour set. And then you would have the Pelt of Ralva as your helmet. This reason behind this was it enhances the incantation for what jokingly is called the Bear Communion, which is the Roar of Rugalea, which is mainly the main part of this build, so it's essential. Weapon wise, we're looking at the Red Bear Claw. This is a Beast Claw, which was a new subclass of weapon that was made in the DLC. Use the Clawmark Seal for all the Bestial Incantations, which get boosted by it, and as well the Cinquedea. This increases similar thing. That increases the Bestial Incantations as well. Mainly this will just be used to cast incantations, not really massively good on the attack power for that. So we dive in, this is what the build looks like, and this is how it would function. So single-handed attacks with Bear Claw, still pretty fast, big hits with the stuns, and Ashen of War. It's like cuts through a vacuum which continuously deals damage. It's pretty devastating, and obviously it's got lots of blood damage on it. And you dual wield a lot quicker, move like a beast. Big old heavy attacks and Ashen War again, vacuum slashes. Really fast, nimble, you break statuses while using the heavy attacks, and continuous damage for your Ashen of War. So the main spell on this is the Roar of Rugalea. Holding it down, it does a double. This is like a continuous flow of damage. The Bestial Incantations, while you holding the Cinquedea, increases the damage of things. So quick and easy, sub through the incantations and attacks. So Bestial Claw just digs it out. Beast Claw goes everywhere. Little stones, quick and easy throws. And then we'll move on to the buffering ones. So the Constitution one alleviates blood loss and frozen build-up, and the Fatality one heals HP over a period of time. Very useful for this build. But you can, in quick succession, claw, throw, claw, right, or if you like, boulder, straight into the attack. So you can utilise the quickness of these spells with the quickness of the attacks of their claw. So locations of the important equipment for this video. So the armour of the chest, arms and legs, and also the red bear claw weapon, it all drop by a boss from the northern nameless Mausoleum. I can show you that now. So that is up here. You make a run from Ancient Ruin Base. I'll fight some enemies on the way just to show the capability of the build. I love the feel of this build, but the only thing I can say about it is it would be a build that I would find very hard to use from beginning to end, because subsequently the damage output that it deals isn't enough for a late game. For a late game kind of build. That's kind of fun. This one before he comes to me. Does use a lot of stamina up quickly, so the two-headed tortoise talisman is actually pretty good at this build as well, if you want to just leave it. There we go. glitched out. Bit harder against the bigger targets, but you can get there in the end. Smaller targets, we sprint through, subtle big attack. It is a kind of weapon that just continuously puts you on the move, which dodging in mid attacks and stuff like that can be quite annoying sometimes, and just timing things might take a little while. Right, so from here we've basically run down the linear path, got to about here. Here's a spring well. Jump up here, take one more jump up to the next one jump here. And there it is, there's the Coliseum. And inside is a boss, an NPC character boss. Once you've killed them, you get the Iron Riveted set and the Bear Claws. The next part is looking at the Pelt of Rugalea. That's the helmet, which is essential for the Roar. Sorry, yeah, essential for the power up the Roar of Rugalea. Hopefully, I can show you the capabilities of. And stop things in its track. Damage. So when you get to about these crossroads and you pick up the map, you want to head towards this gate at the top here. For this, I'm just going to show you the beast rules. Yeah, well, he wants a piece, doesn't he? There we go, it's knocked him on the floor. Cool, it's done. Status attack. Got that critical in. Cool. So if you can time the Roar good, the Roar is pretty useful in some circumstances, especially against breaking the guards on enemies. So come up to this gate up here, follow it round. We're gonna basically try and get to this pool here, where you would find a wandering boss, which is a giant bear. Different to the big rune bears, these bears are bigger and nastier. You fight him here in this middle of this lake, and that's how you get the pelt or the helm. So we're looking at the Cinquedea dagger, which is this weapon here for the bestial sorcery upgrades. This one's a little bit more tricky. It is almost in a secret hidden area. You have to come to the bestial sanctuary Also inside the Bestial Sanctum you find Gurranq Beast Kragerman. After feeding them enough death rot, basically you can get the Clawmark Seal, which is what we use to use incantations, this one, and all of the incantations of the bestiary incantations you get from feeding him enough death rot. So to get the dagger, you come all the way around to the back, you look off and you find a root, you drop down onto the root, and you can drop down onto the next branch, and onto the top of this part of the building, then down. Right, then what you want to do from here is jump onto this part, pull down to this bit here, take a bit of damage, then jump over, and then drop down onto this little ledge here, and you're down. Right, and then you want to do similar kind of thing again, so jump onto this bit, you can move and then jump back, and then you can do the same again, and then down. When you get down to this bottom level, you want to run round. There's a couple of bats in the area you don't want you can fight with if you like. And then once you've run round, you can find the dagger here in the middle of this. And that's where it is. So it's a hidden out the way area. That's where you can find it. Right, so now if we're looking at the cornerstone of this build, which is the Roar of Rugalea, basically you want to fight and kill Rugalea, the Great Red Bear. The bear is in this forest area here, just from the ravine north. You get to this ravine by ancient ruin base, you run down all the way into Temple Town ruins, and then you can go from here through the water and basically to find this grace here. We're going to fight this guy just to show you a bit more on how this can work. The talisman as well. A couple of rocks, I think. Oh, wrong button. Depending on the enemy's poise levels, obviously the bear cannot always stop every enemy in its tracks. But if you can time it correctly, you can deal significant damage. Right, so after leaving this grace, you'll want to travel on the right hand side. There's a couple of rune bears, well, there's about 4 or 5 rune bears in the area, which you want to avoid. Everyone knows who plays Elden Ring that rune bears are horrible. Once you follow up and round on the right, you're going to drop down. You'll see a rune bear on your left scratching. You want to follow the outside all the way around on the right hand side. Follow the cliff side, follow it around. Also, there's a rock formation with 2 sleeping bears. You want to stay away from there. There are some items in there that you can pick up during the game. If you follow this around enough, you'll get to a sort of an open plain here. And then you'll find Rugalea, the Great Red Bear here, which you can fight as a boss. To unlock the Roar. That's where he unlocks. So yeah, so that is pretty much the Inner Beast class, and everywhere you can find the items for that to make it. Like I said, it's a good class, it's just not something I could see myself using for a whole run through, due to the lack of just overall damage that you can deal with it. The incantations, the Bestial Incantations, are not as amazing as most incantations are. So the next class build that I'm looking at making and doing a video on is I've called Gravity War Mage. So this is a gravity sorceries paired with a sword lance, which is a new weapon on the DLC. It was quite fun to make and build, so I'll be really happy to show you that when I do that one. I am just to remind you that I will put all the specs for this build within the description of the video, so please go check that out after you've watched. And I just want to say thank you very much for watching.
Hey.
Bye.